This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jupiter, and Indiantown, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Well, a very pleasant good evening. Time for Small Biz Florida, right here on WPSL, Port St. Lucie, and WSTU, Stewart. Mr. Tom Kindred is your host.
Thank you, sir. And we are back from our holiday break, and happy to be back here live in the studio. Welcome to another segment and installment of Small Biz Florida, the podcast and broadcast that's all things business across the Treasure Coast and the entire state of Florida. Small Biz Florida is brought to you by the Florida Small Business Development Center Network and is produced by the Florida SBDC at Indian River State College. Small Biz Florida is designed and produced to highlight and promote business assistance, resources, celebrate entrepreneurial success, and present best practices, and most importantly, provide timely business information for Florida's small business owners and operators. I am Tom Kindred Jr., and I serve as the Regional Director for the Florida SBDC at IRSC. So good evening, Greg, and I guess welcome back from the holiday break. I think our spots...
What holiday break?
Oh, you did...
I was buried.
Well, that's a good point, because we didn't get much one either. It was kind of work through the break.
I was buried in bowl games and sports events cancellations because of COVID. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think, did Small Biz Florida, did we get bumped by a bowl game or
yeah,
playoff
you got bumped
game or
by
something?
Christmas carols one night.
It's hard to believe
Just
that
imagine
we get
that.
bumped.
What are their priorities? Do that.
Yeah.
All right, where are the priorities here at WPSL and STU? So anyway, we were here the last Thursday before Christmas week and had a great show. Kind of wrapped up the year.
That you did.
And again, goes without saying. I certainly don't have to reiterate. It was a crazy year, but again, I applaud the counties, St. Lucie, Indian River, Martin, and Okeechobee County governments. They stepped up. They used the CARES Act money, created some small business grant programs. And it was our honor and our pleasure to participate with those counties in helping them get those grants processed and get that funding out into the hands of small business owners. And that's really where we've been since Tuesday, March the 17th of 2020. Yep.
And you helped a lot of people along the way.
Yes. But who's counting?
Yeah.
But we're also appreciative that Congress got their relief bill passed and signed shortly before Christmas, I believe. That got done. So we sort of returned after New Year's on Monday, January the 4th, and there is some additional funding. The PPP program is back on the table, so we are trying as quickly as we can. I had a conversation today with our Florida SBDC Network headquarters. We are getting all the latest and greatest information on the relief package. Our counties are going to continue to fund their small business grant programs. So we are back at it, trying to make sure that we are getting information and helping people get access, helping small business owners get access to what's available. Treasure Coast Business Magazine, our deadline is January the 15th, so figure another 2-3 weeks before it hits the streets. So there's going to be some articles in there about the PPP, and so I encourage you, as I have over the last through 2020 to get a copy. And call me if you don't have a copy or you haven't subscribed, or you can go to tcbiz.com and subscribe and get yourself a copy. But there will be all kinds of information about the new relief package in the upcoming edition of Treasure Coast Business Magazine.
So do we bring balloons in here for the 6th anniversary celebration next week?
I know.
Huh?
6th anniversary. I don't.
You bet.
just said 5th year last before Christmas.
This is winding up the 5th year. You signed
There's
in
no way I've been here
mid-January.
every Thursday night. How old was I when we started this show? Like 30?
How old? How old?
What'd you do before you got this gig?
I know. It's 6 years. I have no idea what I was doing 6 years ago. So I think Greg counts these. I think there must be some special radio broadcasting type timeline. I don't.
You are
Quarters count as years or something. I don't
just
know.
check our 1,000 shows up on WPSLTV.com.
1,000 shows.
More than that. Oh, yeah, we're probably 1,200 or 1,300 by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Real quick, I was. We always talk about our marketplace, and I consider I don't consider myself. I am. There are many others that don't consider me a local, but I am a local. My parents were born and raised in Fort Pierce, and so
Local with an L.
local with an L.
Okay.
Not vocal with a V.
I'm just double checking,
Yes, local with an L.
That's it.
And so I've seen this community. I've seen things come. I've seen some things go. I was here in 2003 when we took it to the moon, and then we kind of got sidetracked in 06, 07, and 08. But we've always been waiting for the day, and so the other day I'm listening. I think I'm listening to radio. I'm pretty sure, and I heard the story about.
It was this station.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes.
I was listening to radio, and there was some data that came out from U-Haul. And it is amazing. But you don't think of U-Haul, but U-Haul's probably got some great data in terms of where people are moving. But anyway, U-Haul came out and published their data the other day, and they said, despite the craziness that coincided with 2020, Americans were on the move, and more are heading to Florida. The state ranked 3rd in migration growth, and 3 Florida cities. Can you guess which is one of the 3? Port St. Lucie. Port St. Lucie, Northport, and Kissimmee clinched the top spots nationwide, according to U-Haul's data. Growth and migration trends were calculated using the net gain of one-way U-Haul trucks entering a city or state versus leaving in the same year, and more than 2 million customer transactions. Port St. Lucie has been steadily climbing U-Haul's list of top 25 U.S. growth cities over the last few years, ranking 21st in 2018, 6th in 2019, and now 3rd. So,
in the USA, yes.
Right. The city's population more than doubled from 2000 to 2018. 24/7 Wall Street data showed, dubbing Port St. Lucie one of the fastest growing cities in the nation. Port St. Lucie caters to all ages. They call it the city for, what do they call it, Michael?
City for all ages.
The city for all ages. So again, I think it just goes to show that I think the Treasure Coast is going to continue to grow now, and I don't think there's really any looking back at this point. So, and we have a guest tonight who can speak to all of this, our very good friend Charlotte Byerly, who serves as the tourism director for St. Lucie County. Welcome to the show, Charlotte.
Thank you, Tom.
Wasn't that a good segue into our conversation?
It was. I
Yes.
mean, how did they find out about our beautiful area from tourism?
I'm going to
from
assume
visiting?
because of all the great marketing work you do.
Right, no.
And,
I kid.
And we've also got our very good friend and our standout consultant with us tonight, Mr. Michael Bernard. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for taking time out of your evening, both of you. Charlotte has two beautiful young active boys at home, so I appreciate you taking time away from the family. And Michael, I appreciate you taking time. And we're going to talk to Michael about a very a powerful training program that we are partnering with Center State Bank on called Profit Mastery. If you're in business, you need to know about this program. You need to find a way to take advantage of the program too. So we'll talk about that. But I want to start with Charlotte. And again, back to our article from U-Haul, the data saying we are growing like crazy. So again, it's time again to kind of circle back and talk about where we are with tourism. I know it was a tough year, I'm sure, in 2020, but let's talk a little bit about where we are and where we're going with tourism. First, just give us a little bit of talk about your role as director of tourism a little bit, so we get kind of a kind of backdrop to all this.
So as the director of tourism, I work for St. Lucie County government. So it's a government division structured under the Board of County Commissioners. My division in tourism, we employ 3 people, myself, and a young lady by the name of Allison McDonald and another young lady by the name of Taylor Hardison. And the 3 of us really engage with our partners in the industry and market our area as a tourist destination. We're really a little marketing agency, if you will.
Yep, makes sense.
That's kind of us in a nutshell. We have a tourist development council. I think that's probably your next question.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about, again, beyond marketing, talk a little bit about the mission. What is your daily mission of the division of tourism here with the county?
So our daily mission is to attract visitors to St. Lucie County that will bring positive economic impact to our area. We want them, and really that, just to get even more detailed, is we want them to come and stay overnight in paid accommodations, or come and spend money at restaurants and attractions, to bring that positive economic impact.
And again, it's so easy for me to talk about our region because I've been here my whole life. I certainly know a little bit more about all the benefits and the activities that go on than someone who was just visiting. But we really are a very unique marketplace and region. The beaches are uncrowded. We've got all kinds of activity, fishing, golf, that's uncrowded.
Yep.
I mean, I think if people really knew more about who we were and what we had to offer, they probably wouldn't be uncrowded anymore. But again, we are a unique region, are we not? In comparison to a lot of other Florida cities, Dade, Broward, Fort Lauderdale Beach. I mean, even Palm Beach beaches. I mean, really a lot of great opportunities up here for tourism.
Yes. You hit the nail on the head. That is certainly the uncrowded, kind of off the beaten path, authentic old Florida is certainly some themes that we try to communicate when we promote our destination. So we recognize that, and I'll tell you, during these times of COVID, we're in a fairly good position because those are the kinds of places that people who are still traveling or want to still travel are looking for.
And let me ask you this too. Again, from a local perspective, we've got lots of very unique restaurants and dining opportunities, and we've got some great hotels and resorts. Not necessarily all in St. Lucie County, but the region. up and down between Indian River and Martin County. I mean, all kinds of great opportunities. I mean, and I love the words you used, authentic. I mean, when I think about some of the little Jim Bridge type, the new Krabby's downtown. I mean, really some incredible dining opportunities that just have locations that are, not found in a lot of places, right on the water. And so do we have, I mean, does St. Lucie County, do we have the kind of assets and infrastructure in terms of lodging and restaurants to meet the need, or,
I certainly think we have the charm, and we have the history, and we have the culture, and we have the natural resources that attract those type of folks here. In my opinion, we certainly have a lot of hotels that can accommodate many different budgets, types of, expectations you want. My opinion is we need, or it would be very beneficial for us to have a hotel in St. Lucie County, a large resort, or a hotel on the beach. I think that would change the landscape. I'm not, I'm not predicting or recommending, a line of resorts and high rises along our coastline. I don't think that's, what we want here. But I think we have such beautiful beaches. If we at least had some accommodations, a full service resort on the beach, it would make a big difference.
Whatever happened to that property, that hotel that was on North Beach, right as you make the turn?
Yeah.
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Well, no, I know the hurricane, but is there any talk of that coming back at all?
It's still for sale. The parcel of land is still for sale. It was rezoned by the Board of County Commissioners into a condo resort type of zone to build. And I know there's been some interest. A realtor has it listed. So there's definitely been some developers who've looked at it.
That'd be great.
So we'll put the word out for the developer.
There
It's
you
a great
go.
piece of property, and Michael Bernard is here to help you find the funding.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you're listening in Guam right now,
Yes.
give Michael a call.
Right.
Yes, good
Elon Musk, if you're listening,
That's
since
right.
you're now the
Yeah.
richest man in the world, we have a parcel of land for you.
Right.
There you go. No kidding.
Talk a little bit about the Tourist Development Council.
Sure. So we have a Tourist Development Council in addition to our Board of County Commissioners. They also appoint a Tourist Development Council, and that's a 9-member council that our staff also reports to. And this council is comprised of one of our Board of County Commissioners, a representative from each city municipality, an elected official. So one from the city of Fort Pierce, one from the city of Port St. Lucie, and then the remaining 6 members are involved or interested in the tourism industry, whether they're a hotel operator or work at an attraction. We have the director of the Met Stadium who works for the New York Mets is on our TDC, so they're all involved in the tourism industry.
All right. How is your department funded? Are you through the bed tax? Or
Yes.
Okay.
We are 100% funded through the bed tax, which is a tax. That's why I said staying overnight.
Right.
When you
Right.
when you rent a room or you rent an RV site, there's a 5% tourist tax in addition to the sales tax, and that 5% tax is what funds our division.
And I know you and your team do a great job of compiling and tracking data. You do a monthly report that I now get since the last time you were on the show, and I really appreciate the report. But how do you track tourism and its impact on the area?
Sure. So we certainly track the tourist tax collections that we get monthly from the tax collector's office. We get that report. We also track hotel occupancy levels, hotel rates, daily rate levels, and shows demand and supply and just kind of how the industry is performing. We also track vacation rental occupancy and rates, because that's a big part of the equation as well. We can also track through some other resources. We can track sales tax revenue that may be coming from visitors and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of different ways to track.
In your latest report that we got in December, hotel occupancy rates don't look horrible. Now, I don't know what to compare them to. I don't look every month at your numbers, but is a 50% occupancy rate, is that at this time of year, are we way off, or are we a little bit off, or where are we?
So I would say in the current circumstances with COVID, and if we were to compare that 50% occupancy rate to some other destinations in Florida, we were doing okay.
Okay. That's kind of the way I felt when I looked at it. I thought I think that could have been much worse, I would think.
September and October are historically our lowest performing months. It's just a really slow time of year.
Charlotte, have you talked to your counterparts in the states that are locked down now? I mean, how in the world do they function?
I have not talked to really anyone in other states. A little bit, I'm part of some Facebook groups, it's tough. They're in lockdown, and there's not much that they can do because there's no revenue coming in, and it's a lot of folks are getting very creative. But we're fortunate, that Florida is open, and people who feel safe to travel and are taking the precautions to travel are still traveling. So I do speak to a lot of my counterparts within the state. So,
and I'm sure I know the answer to the question, but tourism is truly a critical component and segment of our market here in St. Lucie County and along the Treasure Coast. I mean, a lot of folks are employed in that industry, and you include hospitality, restaurants. So it is really a critical component for us, is it not?
It is, very much so. I actually found those statistics that you were asking about earlier, and based on a study we did a few years ago, tourism generates over $800 million of economic impact annually. And in terms of generating jobs, for every 100 visitors that we get to St. Lucie County, one job is created. And we have just under 8,000 jobs in St. Lucie County that rely on tourism and hospitality.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I think you need some more staff.
Yes, please. I'll take volunteers.
Yeah. Talk to us about, I know this whole craft brew thing, and we've really got some really unique establishments here in St. Lucie County, but you've kind of created a whole new wine and ale trail. Talk a little bit about that program you've got going on.
So this came up a few years ago when the craft industry was really starting to boom, and still is to some extent. And they've had it tough during COVID. You guys read in the newspaper, some were open, they had to open, close, and so. But several years ago, together with Indian River and Martin County, we created the Treasure Coast Wine and Ale Trail. So it's kind of like a passport program where you get a map, and you go to all of the partners on the trail. And there's certain criteria to be a partner on the trail. You got to craft. You have to brew your beer or your beverage on site, and it's got to be local and unique. And so we have 11 partners on the trail, including our winery here in Fort Pierce. And we've done some really fun things with this because data shows people take what they call beercations, and they'll travel for a craft beverage experience.
Back up. Really? Beercation.
It's a niche, but it's there.
Here we go,
Michael.
This is good stuff for me.
Mike's taking notes over here. Oh.
But one thing, we got some really great news today in that we always try to come up with programs to help our partners along the trail, because people, like I said, will travel for this, and we're not the only destination that's done this. It's done all over the country, but we we were approached by a gift card company, so now we will very soon officially have Treasure Coast Wine and Ale Trail gift cards that you can buy in local public stores. So you can essentially like load them with money and then go to all the partners along the trail and enjoy, your beverages. So
That's awesome.
It's another way to cross promote, the trail.
Nice.
And we're really excited about it. And the partners are real
Very
excited
cool.
about it too.
I took a look at your website before we came in together tonight into the studio. I mean, there are things planned all through January.
Yep.
Talk just a little bit about your website. How does someone get to the website?
Mm-hmm.
How does someone find that list of activities that are taking place?
Sure. So the website address is visitstlucie.com, visitstlucie.com. I will tell you one of the main reasons people visit our website, and this is something new that I hadn't shared with you yet, is we have live webcams of some really fantastic spots that we have on the in St. Lucie County, and we just made improvements to some of those webcams. But we invest a lot in search engine marketing. We pay for search results and make sure we come to the top based on keywords and things like that. But we do have a calendar of events that we keep regularly updated. So any event going on that we know is going to give a tourist a great cultural or unique experience here in St. Lucie County, it's on the website. So, and then we always are putting up new content up there that's relevant for the times. Right now, everyone wants to be outdoors, and
Right.
there's a lot of seasonality. So we're promoting warm, sunny, beaches to people freezing up in the Northeast.
Spring training baseball
Spring
in
training-
mid-February.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Well, Charlotte, you guys, again, do great work. The stuff you've put together, I know that we worked a little bit, the SBDC worked a little bit with you on some video projects. And so I know
Thank
that,
you for that.
Well, listen, we're happy to be part of that. You guys do great work in promoting the area. I'm not going to say your job's easy.
It's fun, though.
But you've got a good product. That's for sure. This is the Treasure Coast is really, kind of the best kept secret, and certainly St. Lucie County has some incredible, tourism assets and places to go and see and do. And so keep up the good work.
Thank you.
We promised the last time you came on that you were going to be a regular guest, so we could continue to update folks on tourism, and we appreciate that. And we're going to continue to do that because it is such an important part of what we do, and hopefully there is some light at the end of the tunnel with the pandemic, and things will get back to normal.
Yes.
And even be better than before.
Yes, thank you. And go to the website and check out the new live webcams.
Okay. And we're going to be able to buy our Wine and Ale Trail gift cards here pretty soon.
Yes, at your local public store.
Okay, I'll be looking for them. Okay, with that, we're going to take a quick break. I would encourage you to stay with us. We're going to be talking to our very own Michael Bernard about a very valuable and unique training program called Profit Mastery. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
What's that word again? Profit?
It's called Profit Mastery.
Profit.
Greg, yeah. Something I needed the training on back when I was in business.
I'm going to have to look that word up.
I know. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a career with good pay and growth opportunities? Then register today for Indian River State College's Certified Logistics Associate Training Program. Hi, I'm Joe Gorham with IRSC's Corporate and Community Training Institute. The CLA course provides students with the foundational and broad knowledge you will need to understand the world of distribution. The course includes training in the global supply chain, logistics environment, safe equipment operation, material handling equipment, quality control, workplace communication, teamwork, and problem solving. Upon completion, students will have the opportunity to earn a nationally recognized industry certification. Start your career path today and earn more in the dynamic field of distribution for companies like Amazon, Walmart, CVS, and others. For more information on the Lincoln Park Career Pathways program, contact Melanie George at 462-7395. 462-7395.
The season of champions continues at Indian River State College in 2021. Volleyball, basketball, swimming, diving, softball, and baseball will all kick off a very busy spring at IRSC. WPSL's 13th season of IRSC basketball tips February 6th at Palm Beach State. Check out the IRSC Sports website for dates and times of all events.
You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
And we are back. This is Small Biz Florida from the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute right here at Indian River State College. I am Tom Kindred. I serve as the Regional Director for the Florida Small Business Development Center here at our very own Indian River State College. And we've got with us now our very good friend and standout business consultant, Mr. Michael Bernard. Again, welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking time out of your evening.
By the way, my wife is listening to make sure that I'm actually here.
Yes, he is here. I will confirm Michael Bernard is on the air. We are being videotaped and recorded, so you will have all the proof you need, Michael. I wanted you to come on tonight because we have developed a partnership with Center State Bank. They are helping scholarship and fund a very powerful training program called Profit Mastery. It is a training tool that the SBDC uses to help business owners better manage and understand their financials. And I'm going to let you talk about the details of the program, but any time that we have someone that goes through the program, the testimonials are always very positive. So it's not always easy to get a small business owner to dedicate. There is some time commitments here, not tremendous, but there are some time commitments. So it's tough sometimes. But Michael, start us with just a little bit of a background on you, quick background, and how you found your way to the SBDC here at IRSC.
To start with, I graduated from the University of Miami, actually with a degree in industrial engineering and computer science, and went to work at Jackson Memorial Hospital for several years. Became the manager of systems and programming for them, and one of the individuals who was working at the hospital as an administrator was a old Ernst & Ernst consultant, and we started to talk about consulting, and he thought I would actually make a good fit for them, and so I went to work for both them and one of the other international Big 8 accounting firm of the day. Did that for about 9 years. Got a little tired of traveling around the country and being away for so long. So I then decided to come back, work for a couple of regional large CPA firms, heading up their management consulting department. Eventually got into my own practice of management consulting. I did that for 10 years. And in between, I owned a PC export company, exported PCs to Latin America, and actually had one of the first internet web hosting companies in Fort Lauderdale, Florida for a while. But my true love was consulting and helping small businesses, and then I retired. We moved up here to beautiful Port St. Lucie in 2000 when there was nobody here. And if people understand, Gatlin was a 2-lane road with no stoplights, so it was really pretty nice. They had 80,000 people, and people used to complain about, it took them from Port St. Lucie to the Treasure Coast Mall was 15 minutes, and I told them it took me, 15 minutes just to go 4 blocks from Miami, where I came from. So this was Nirvana as far as I was concerned. And then after so many years, my wife said, you're really a pain, and I'd really like you to get out of the house. Could you go find something to do? And I was actually recommended to the job by a close personal friend of mine who was just recently retired from the college, and lo and behold, they actually hired me.
Well, it's good that she's tracking you on video now, so that's kind of cool.
That's pretty good. But so that's how I got started. I've actually been with the SBDC now a little over 7 years, starting my 8th year. I'm now operating full-time as opposed to part-time because we are getting so busy within the SBDC and the city of Port St. Lucie.
Yeah. And to that point, real quickly, before we start on Profit Mastery, we talked at the top of the show about the U-Haul data and the growth of Port St. Lucie. And we have just recently completed in 2020, at the end of the year, we completed a partnership agreement with the city of Port St. Lucie. They are supporting us, and we have taken Michael from a part-time status consultant to full-time. So Michael is focused on the Port St. Lucie marketplace, and he's now full-time. So your wife has to know where you are at least another 20, 25 hours now.
That's correct.
So
and hoping that some of those 100 people a day that are moving here are entrepreneurial.
Yes.
Correct.
Well,
Yes.
Well, the city of Port St. Lucie, I got to hand it to the mayor and to the city commission and to Elijah Wooten and to the city manager.
Right.
They're forward thinkers, and they're innovative, and the mayor has put some emphasis on entrepreneurship and small business, as well he should, and they recognize that the SBDC is a valuable tool. And so anyway, it's a great partnership, very innovative partnership. And so we now have a full-time consultant down in the Port St. Lucie area, and it's Michael. So again, big news there for our center. But Michael, let's talk a little bit about Profit Mastery, which it's easy for me to talk about this program because I was in business, realized obviously the importance of managing a small business's financials. And Profit Mastery is really a very unique tool that trains a business owner on how to better manage and the financials of the business. So talk a little bit about the Profit Mastery program in general.
Okay. Basically, one of the things that I like about the program is it's for people and entrepreneurs who have been in business for a while. And, they usually have to settle on, what do I do to make my business grow? What kind of marketing do I need, et cetera, et cetera. And they usually, the finances sort of come second. We have all sorts of financial programs to help the entrepreneur run his business, but understanding all of those financials is really what's most important. Clients typically come up and say to us, basically, I'm making money in the bottom line. How come I don't have any money in the bank? Well, in the program, we try to take them through all of the steps with regard to looking at their profit and loss statement and looking at their balance sheet, but not just looking at it, but understanding what the numbers mean within the program itself. And we will take them through step by step into the understanding of this and where they need to put their emphasis is if they want to make their business grow and become profitable.
Yep. And so I talked a little bit about sometimes it's tough for small business owners to commit the kind of time.
Correct.
Of course, it's easy for me to look back and say it doesn't matter how much time, it was important. But what is the time commitment to get through the Profit Mastery program?
Right now, the program that we initially, when we first got it and started teaching the program, was 2.5 days. And then we really found out that that was very, very difficult for the small entrepreneur to dedicate that much time at one fell swoop because he had to be at his business most of the time every day. So we have now taken the program and we've divided into 5 weeks of 4 hours, 1 day a week, so that they can rest in between, go back to their business, do what they have to do, and hopefully take some of what they've learned from that previous week's lesson and start to use it towards their business and actually see that it works. And what we found out is that once they see how they start to look at their financials differently, they have a different appreciation for the following lessons that come one right after the other. And we know this because we start to get more questions as the lessons get further along. Right. So it helps them dramatically. And we'll talk a little bit about what happens with regard to what they need to look at, how they look at things, what does cash flow mean, what does the income statement do for me, what does the balance sheet do for me, and how, and we also will teach them how to present their business plans to a bank when they actually need a loan to expand or get bigger or hire more employees.
And a lot of the folks, when we put a cohort class together, they can bring their own financials in to the classroom and really almost immediately begin to implement, the lessons learned through Profit Mastery directly to their financials. It's it's not an example. They can really use their own books.
Yes. And what's really interesting about that also is we find that by the end of the class, one of the things that the business owner has learned is how other people make decisions for their different types of businesses, and can they take that information that they've learned while we're talking with, among ourselves in the class and actually use it for their business. So they get ideas from other entrepreneurs, and in turn they help each other. And a lot of them have continued to, bond with each other even after the program is over.
And so often you see small business owners and they're making money and they're doing well.
Yes.
And so, but the question really always was, and now I have the benefit of looking back over my years of business ownership, and you have to ask yourself the question: we thought we were doing well, but were we doing as well as we could have done if we really had managed and understood the financials? Is that a fair statement?
That's absolutely correct. And it's not just the financials, but it's drilling down into each line item in that financials. We try to teach them about, how, as an example, one of the first things that we look at are the merchant fees that businesses have to pay for processing their sales. And we look at that, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're paying 3.5% on your merchant fee, and maybe it ought to be 2.5%, that's 1%. Now, 1% on $500,000 worth of sales turns out to be a lot of money, and that money goes straight down to the bottom line. So we try to point out these little nuances that we have that will, if you take a little from here and a little from there, it will help you make the money. We always talk about accounts receivable if a lot of merchants have that, and wholesale distributors, etc. And if you're not collecting your money within 30 days and all the time after that, maybe it's 45 days, then you're starting to lose money because you can't collect the money, turn that money into inventory, and then that inventory becomes sales, and sales nets you the cash that you need to continue with your business. And these are all of the little things that we try to teach them and help them with so that they understand. And then as we talk during the class, they can bring up particular examples, and we'll help them with specific examples that they have. Or once they're finished with the class, and I know Tom wanted me to say this, they can come and see one of our consultants that will help them do that on a one-on-one basis.
Absolutely. And this is not some sort of crazy, space age snake oil techniques or anything. This is really basic accounting.
Correct.
And the whole Profit Mastery program was developed by an accountant, was it not?
Yes, it was.
Right.
And both an accountant and a banker, because the banker knows what they want to see on the business's financial statements. And if you don't have the right numbers, or as we call them in the trade, if you don't have the right ratios with regard to your numbers, current assets versus current liabilities, etc., if you understand them, you have a better chance of getting the loan than if you don't, because the bankers are going to see certain things that you don't, and then you're going to say to yourself, uh-oh, maybe that's why I got turned down for my loan, not because we weren't doing well, but my ratios weren't exactly what industry standards do. That's the other thing that we help them with. The SBDC has an awful lot of databases that we have available to us that give us industry metrics for somebody who's in that particular business. We talked about the beer trail. So there are databases that we use that will tell somebody who manufactures craft beer, as an example, what his numbers should be. If you have $1 million worth of sales, as an example, then your cost of goods sold ought to be X percentage. Your expenses ought to be X percentage. Your gross profit should be so much. Subtract your expenses, you get down to the net bottom line, and that ought to be a number. And if you should be at 50% from an industry standard on gross profit, as an example, okay, then what will happen is we'll take a look at it, and if you're 60, you're doing well, but if you're doing 40, we'll help you go in there and take a look at it, and how do we help improve that financial portion of the statement for you.
So we have long worked with Center State, good partner of ours. Center State has funded some dollars, and they are going to scholarship some businesses into Profit Mastery. We are launching a cohort this month, I believe. The 13th, next week.
Next week
is the first day in Okeechobee.
In Okeechobee.
Got a great roster of participants, and then when we're done with that 5-week program, we're going to launch over here. So
correct.
Again, if you're interested in the program, it fills up quickly. What do we have? We encourage the owner and the controller, owner and bookkeeper. We encourage 2 to come, right?
Correct. At least 2 people. I mean, if you want to have 3, that's okay. We have one over in Okeechobee where we actually have 3 people, which is one of the owners, the general manager, and the financial CFO from the company.
Okay.
So, because they can always learn.
Right. And we like to keep it to maybe 10 or 12 companies per round.
Yep.
So it's not
anywhere between 15 to 20 participants, and anywhere between 8 to 12 businesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Michael, give us you're kind of the point person for our Profit Mastery program. You are a certified facilitator.
That's correct.
You've been trained to present this material. Give us your email and your phone number in case someone is interested in getting involved in one of these upcoming cohorts.
Okay. My email address is mbernard, BERNARD, @irsc.edu. and my telephone number is 772-336-6282.
And again, we're closing in on our time, but you know the one thing, Michael, that I always stress, and again, I learned it the hard way. So many business owners, when they come to see us, the first thing they want to talk about is, I need more customers. I want to talk marketing.
Right.
But really, the first thing we should be talking about is
Finances and what you got to do.
right.
And how you understand the finances, because how do you know whether you can afford to do the marketing program or to hire a marketing director for your company? Because if it's going to cost you $40 or $50 or $60,000 to hire that marketing person, then can we afford to do that? And if so, how much sales do I need in order to make a
Right.
profit off of that new salesperson that I want to hire?
Yeah.
There goes the Rolls Royce.
Michael, thank you so much for all you do for the region's small business owners and operators. You're going to kind of now be focused on that Port St. Lucie marketplace, and I'm obviously a lot of small business owners and operators in that marketplace. And I just, but I can't thank you enough for your 7 years of service to our community, to our center, and love what you're doing with the Profit Mastery Program. So can't wait to get these cohorts launched.
My pleasure.
So with that, we'll bring to close another segment of Small Biz Florida. You can always find out more about what's going on by visiting that IRSCBiz.com site and check out that events calendar of all the upcoming business trainings that are going to occur around our marketplace. So with that, we will talk to you next week on Small Biz Florida.
You've been listening to Small Biz Florida right here on WPSL Port St. Lucie, Talk of the Treasure Coast, webcaster to the world, on Alexa, Google Home, and TuneIn, and WSTU Stewart, Martin County's heritage station, serving the Treasure Coast since 1954.